Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host. I'm welcoming you to my review as we take a look at a animated film, a CGI animated movie, and this, from Open Road Productions and from the producers of the Nut Job movies, from Toonbox Entertainment. Like I said, Toonbox Entertainment alongside Open Road. We have Jace Norman, Jessica Biel, Susan Sarandon, Patrick Stewart, and Hilary Swank leads the voice cast in Spark, A Space Tale. This movie was released in 2015. So this movie is done by, as I said, Toonbox Entertainment. They're the same makers of The Nut Job, which The Nut Job was their first movie. This will be their second. Then Nut Job 2, which I've covered both Nut Job films on my channel, and they're from decent to pretty good. I actually think with Nut Job 2 being the better movie, in my opinion. But anyways, let's talk about Sparks. Spark, I should say, not Sparks, Spark. So this basically features the voice of Jace Norman. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that. I'll say Jace Norman for this video. Probably going to get that wrong. He plays Spark. He's sort of this crazy 13-year-old. The film begins with the king and queen as there's this end of the world kind of thing. So it starts out with the king and queen, and we see Sparks as a baby monkey. So basically, the king throws his staff to save his baby from being flying to orbit. So the king and queen go flying, and he's sitting there all panicking. Cutting out later on, we get Sparks as this 13-year-old sort of rebel who takes no crap from anybody. So then we're introduced to Vix, voiced by Jessica Biel. She's sort of like his mentor, and he's learning how to do all these kung fu moves and flips and stuff like that. So Jace Norman, he's actually, if you're not familiar with him, he's from Henry Danger, the Nickelodeon sitcom. I never watched that show, so I couldn't really say anything. He's the voice of Jace. Then we get a robot voiced by Susan Sarandon. Yeah, voiced by Susan Sarandon, which I actually did watch A Bad Mom's Christmas, which also had Susan Sarandon. But she voices this robot. She basically sort of like WALL-E at times. And then we're introduced to Patrick Stewart, who plays the antagonist, the captain in this movie. Then we got Patrick Stewart. Yeah, I said Patrick Stewart. But anyways, later on in the film, so Sparks is he's not with himself, so he'll go out flying on this hovercraft. So he meets up with this construction worker. I don't know who he's played by, but voiced by, I should say. So we meet up this construction worker who's, car mechanic. I'm feeling a little bit of a Ratchet and Clank vibe when I watch this film, but I feel like that movie had a little more meat to it. That one was more closer to the source. This movie feels like an afterthought with this film. But it turns out later in the film that her mother, her mother is not her mother, but his mother is actually the queen, and turns out that Sparks, his mother is still out there somewhere. So his mother is sort of out there. His mother. So basically, yeah, I'm kind of getting off track right now, but so basically, he's trying to want to get out there and, yeah, to try to save that. And that's the sum of it. I don't know what else to mention without trying to spoil everything or go more in depth into the film, I should say. But in terms of that, I think for what it does, I think this is a fine but flawed CG film. I give Open Road credit for dipping into some family movies. It seems like Open Road is dipping their toes into more movies for children. This movie has a very sort of fun let's just put it this way. I had a fun time with this movie. It didn't bore me, but it was actually fine for what it is. The Toonbox Entertainment films are okay. I do believe there is some merits beyond this movie, and the action scene is good, the CG is good, but if I had to pick between this and the Nutjob movies, I'll take the Nutjob movies any day over something like this. This is a fun movie, and I am going to keep this because I feel like this movie is fun for what it is. It's not a perfect movie. No, it's not a perfect film. Newer CGI films are not perfect, but it's definitely a break away from like the Pixar movies. Though I don't want to compare it to WALL-E because that's a whole different movie. WALL-E is a great movie, don't get me wrong, but this movie had a very WALL-E feel that the movie's in space. But if you're not into monkeys, you're not going to like this because the whole movie is, well, they're all monkeys except for Vix, who is a fox. So, yeah, I don't really have much to say about this. The ending was really good, and though the ending sort of copied Atlantis' ending, I still like the movie for what it is. I think as a film, it's very fun for what it is, and I can probably easily recommend it. Probably to anybody who's into these types of movies. So, yeah. Though Patrick Stewart is in this movie, I didn't really recognize his voice until I watched some of the featurettes. I did watch voicing the characters, and Hilary Swank said in the featurette that this is actually her first CGI movie. She's never done a CGI film in her career, and I gotta say, she did a really good job. Though I don't like the design of the Queen. I don't know. I just I'll show you the cover when I get to it, though. So, is there any flaws with the film? I feel like, I'm going to say this again, but I feel like this movie's an hour and 32 minutes, but it flew by really fast. I feel like this movie's a little too short. Even 2-hour films feel short. 2-hour movies feel long. This should have at least been 2 more hours because I was having fun with this movie, and I thought this is sort of like, basically, I hate to compare it to WALL-E, but I feel it's basically just WALL-E with monkeys. Essentially, wait, scratch that. It's not all monkeys. There's a fox and there's a warthog. The construction worker is a warthog. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I guess I'll show you the artwork. Pretty good. Though I have to show you Hilary Swank's character. Is it me or look at that face? Dear Lord. Sorry, my eyes are about watering. Dear Lord, that is like the hideous character design you could ever think of. Everybody else looks fine except what? What is up with that? I don't really understand. I do like the back art. And in terms of special features, I didn't watch all special features, but we get a creative Spark voicing the characters, bringing Sparks to life, and Sparks concept art reel. I only watched one featurette. It's a really good featurette though, and unfortunately, I'm not even going to bother showing the disc. It's nothing special. But anyways, yeah. So yeah. Okay, let's do it now. Final verdict, should you see Spark, A Space Tale? Sure. I will say I had much of a better time than All I Want for Christmas Is You. I had a much better time with this. Since I watched the CGI, I thought, you know what, I'll get another CGI film. I wasn't planning on watching this, but it was a last minute thing. I thought, I'll check it out. Since I just watched the 2 Nutjob movies, let's watch these. Not these, but let's watch this movie and see if that is any decision and see, is this any better? Now, is this better than the Nutjob movies? Like I said again, I'd rather go back to those, go back to the first and second Nutjob over something like this. I liked it enough to keep it. It's a good movie. I think it's a fun movie for kids. If you're into, like I said, space, if you liked Wall-E and you want to see something a little bit different, or if you want to see it open road, tackle some more family movies. Honestly, I want to see the studio do more movies for children or family movies. This is more of a children's movie than a family movie. There's a difference between that. Children's movies are geared towards more kids. So, for example, the Land for Time direct-to-video sequels, they're more towards children. This is more towards family, but I think children may like this more than actually, yeah. Children might like this more than family, but if you say you have a kid, then yeah, they're going to want to watch this. They're going to like this movie. But it might not be for everyone. But as a 34-year-old, I can recommend this one to anybody that wants to see. I think it would have opened up for a sequel. But that's all I'm going to say right now. I mean, I can go on and on forever, but that's it. I'm going to bid a good night. But thank you guys for watching this review of Spark, A Space Tale. If you do like the content I put up on the channel, I have tons and tons of reviews and lots of good stuff on the channel. But if you do want to, click the subscribe button, click the bell, ring the bell, like the video if you want to. Let me know in the comments if you guys like Spark, a Space Tale. I'm kind of butchering on that. But if you did like this movie, let me know in the comments. So, yeah. As always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.